riding on this Saturday to Griffin. Get a little pickleball in.
Pickle. See who we can pickle today.
But just, want to reminisce on like when I was working at the auto shipping company, plus as being a real estate broker.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I've seen a lot of uncomfort, and I would say about 60% of the people that called that were selling houses and, trying to ship a car. A lot of them were just going, getting frustrated with when you're doing something for the first time. You got expectations or whatever because they get quotes offline and all that stuff right there. And then you move into another area. You got to, you buying a house or looking for somewhere else to live. You got to move your furniture. You got a lot of stuff going on, but it just seemed like a lot of their frustrations were they had a lot of hats on. And with no experience of never shipping a car, I know it could probably get, frustrating because, you get an estimate online or not work with a freight broker. Like, a lot of them I could see they were thinking they were calling the actual carrier, which that could be good if you got that relationship with one that go cross country. More local, you can have that, But the thing, what, I was looking at coming up over it, which is why, what we form is to be that single point of contact for the whole relocation process.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is okay, selling a house, then of course you're gonna need another place to live, you got furniture you gotta ship, and if you have to do like we had to do, might gotta ship a car, we'll handle all of that,
Yes.
from
one-stop shop.
Yeah, so that, you got that single point of communication so you're not dealing with multiple people. And we pre-vet them for you, because we're saying the right verbiage to them to get the right quotes, plus to communicate while it's in process. We drove trucks, and plus we had a terrible experience with people trying to ship our furniture. So we kind of can use that bad experience early in the process with the freight brokers. Like, how do they handle, what's your process if something is broken? You know what I'm saying? How do you file a claim? Then too, a lot of them were frustrated because they filled out the forms where these door-to-door promises that you get, but then some of them got calls the day before that they had to come up with an alternative location. And I mean, some of them were pissed because, you can do all this in your planning if you have it there, but
yeah,
we handle all of that. So we'll know, of course, we let the owner decide if that price is right, and if not, then we just shop it around somewhere else till we get that price right. But when you get ready to move, we'll be able to discuss a lot of that early in the process, because you do got to understand that, set your whole budget up to understand it's going to be cost, and moving the furniture, finding the house. And that's why we went with EXP, because I was working with a lot of military calls on there too. So in EXP, you got more, I would say global reach, because EXP, our family is all over, I would say, the planet.
Country.
They beyond the country. So
yeah, because they are also in Canada.
Yeah. So with the relocation, that was part of the decision to get with something where anywhere is arm reach, because our network, we're working with a lot of people in our network that know that we're building up this relocation team to be able to help military or just business people that are relocating. But to take the stresses out of it, I think that single point of contact would help them a lot. That was that was my vision with it. What's your thoughts on it after you say you can understand it a little bit better after viewing the business plan? What's your thoughts there? Beautiful sugar lump.
Well, it really helped me to see the vision, the mission, and the goal of Big Move Logistics, and how they miraculously put all these things together, like really solving the problem of the person that's trying to relocate, the person that's trying to get their vehicle shipped, that's trying to sell or buy a house, trying to do all these things simultaneously. And it can be a huge mess. And like you said, we experienced it ourselves. When we moved down from Wisconsin to South Carolina, where, I felt like I had did all the planning and structuring that I could to the best of my ability, just to turn around and I'm trying to enjoy time with family back in Georgia. And, you did everything you could by making sure everything was packed up and ready to go for them on the date and time that they said they would pick up.
Right.
Just to realize that the price would double or triple.
or like I heard a lot on the phone with the frustrations, the bait and switch.
The bait and switch.
The
Yeah,
bait and switch.
that's exactly what they did. I mean, they asked me how many bedrooms and bathrooms would I need to pack up, and that number did not change when they got there. However, our price to ship our items changed.
Yeah.
That was very disappointing and frustrating, because just to put things in the perspective, and that was 7 years ago, so I don't remember the exact number, but just to put things in the perspective, it was cheaper for me to fly back, a last minute flight for me to fly back, because I wasn't even planning on coming back to Wisconsin. I was just going to meet you in South Carolina.
Yeah.
But it was actually cheaper for me to fly back and us get a U-Haul, pack up the things, cancel your flight ticket, and drive that U-Haul back to South Carolina ourselves. We saved money by doing that. So it was
stressful,
and
because they were all
crazy how
last
much
minute.
They upcharged us.
Yeah, and it was all last minute changes that, again, it was just like, man, when you trying to make a plan like that and then something like that come in the way, you just like, man. But then how, like, somebody that's watching this, they probably feeling like, well, how is that going to be different with you guys? Well, the difference is like when you send a proposal with the right verbiage to somebody, they have to respond back accordingly. And you pay attention to how they respond, then you kind of know, okay, they got the stuff in place to really make this work, or they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because in this, it takes the communication. A lot of these truck companies just hire anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because shoot, to drive a truck, all you got to do is have a CDL. But you get the skill from the school of how to drive the truck, but they don't get the skill of how to communicate with the customer that they might not, they don't know that this is the customer's first time or things like that. So stepping in and just even getting a quote for our customers in the future on their behalf, just that first email of saying that we want a quote with the right verbiage in there is going to be a big difference right there. Because if they can't get past that, then I know they just broke. And that's what I learned doing. So I'm glad I had that job to learn on that end, is that a lot of the people don't got no experience managing people.
Yeah, so you have well-rounded people here, have, number one, experience a big move themselves. Number two, have experience helping people buy and sell real estate. And thirdly, we've helped people ship vehicles. So, and we've driven trucks ourselves.
And we both got CDL license, guys. So that's what the experience. And we both got real estate broker license.
Yeah.
And we worked this together, and that's why we came up with the name Big Move Logistics. And our value proposition to you is that single point of contact to manage the whole process, the selling of your house, the buying of your house in a new location, so that you can totally understand the neighborhood before you just go buy a house, and not got the right information to feel comfortable. Because military families, they move in a family.
Right.
They might, want the kids and certain activities, because, even when we moved, my son was in the 10th grade, so that was tough to just pull him out. And luckily, we moved in the right neighborhood, so that was a good thing for him to go tap right into the school, and he made friends and all of that stuff right there. So
and we ended up loving it. At first, he hated it.
He hated it at first. But with that experience, understanding that, and that's why that didn't really work out for me doing the freight brokering for that company, is because I could hear the frustrations, and I'm a real estate broker too. So I was on the phone a lot longer than other agents, because I wanted to help them with all of their needs. And that just a cup of tea if all they do is ship the car. When I'm a real estate broker and they're telling me, hey, well, we close next week. All I kept hearing is all of the things they had to do. And I was just wondering, like, why didn't a real estate agent handle all of that? But that's when I understood that we're a lot more rounded than somebody that didn't drive trucks, do freight brokering, and got
they didn't have the capability and the know-how to do all of those things.
Yeah, so that's where Big Move Logistics is going to be your stress reducer, because once you call us and we start going over, just analyzing, like, okay, you getting ready to relocate, where you relocating to? All right, let's do a market analysis of the house you have, and let's see how many days on the market. Let's strategically plan everything. You get what I'm saying? And we know the value. We know how many days on the market this could be. All right, now let's assess your lifestyle so that you might be getting, moving to a new neighborhood, but you're kind of taking your lifestyle with you and being able to still have that lifestyle. Just like if we moved out of town, they got to have a pickleball court somewhere around. You know what I'm saying? They got to have that pickleball court,
Yeah, everybody got pickleball courts now.
Yeah, so you don't want to just say, I need a 3-2 bedroom when I move. No, we going to go through the process like, no, let's focus on your lifestyle, because you got to be comfortable where you're going. You moving out of this neighborhood, but that lifestyle that you're living is somewhere where you're going, and we need to understand that to get you very close to the lifestyle. Different house, same lifestyle.
Yeah, if that's what you want.
Yeah, if that's what you want. Yes.
Because some people move and they don't want any parts of what they just experienced.
True. Big true. But then too, even all the way down to handling the airplane tickets, and I get all of this from when I worked at that company and just hearing a lot of the customers that was calling in, they were just everything they was aggravated about. So I guess they had to talk to somebody on the airport that didn't pan out, or because you got so much stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? But then even if the movers, you let us handle that communication for you. And look, we're your real estate agent. So we're not gonna, if I'm selling your house, I can handle all of those other things. You get what I'm saying? But now, if you're not selling a house, then we got premium packages that's gonna save you thousands of dollars, from letting us manage your big move. It's just that simple.
Yep.
And so that's pretty much it right there. And that's where we're coming out with. So I wanted to make this video to just say, hey, this is the service we're offering, is a single point of contact when you're doing that big move to handle all of those moving parts and communicate to the moving parts on your behalf and get that information back to you for you to tell one person what you want to happen. And then we go execute that information, because it's not really that much of a problem, because we're sending information, knowledgeable information, to who's supposed to perform the task. And if you don't have no experience in it, what you put in is what you get out. If you just keep it, simple, then they're going to assume, hey, well, you comfortable with everything I'm doing, even if they're doing it wrong. So that's pretty much it. So we can be that single point of contact. Okay, well, reach out to Bobby and Felicia, to be your single point of contact real estate brokers, your freight brokers, your everything that has to do with a big move, whether it's job relocation, a PCS from the military, or a young professional looking to thrive in a new city. You reach out to Big Move Logistics. One call, that's all, like they say. One call, that's all. We handle all of that. Once we just got everything that you're trying to do in your move, we got you covered.
Yes. Don't sue us, Ken Nugent.
All right, thank you much. Peace.
Bye-bye.